Hello and welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities. I have, okay, I have a interesting shadow behind me, and it keeps looking like I have weird hair sticking out, and I keep messing with it. I'm like, oh no, it's just a shadow. Okay, this is a love reading for Capricorn, my Capricorn friends out there. I don't know, all the things with Capricorn. Um, yeah, this reading is timeless, as most of them are, and there is something in here. It's my intention. There's something in here for everyone, but if it is not your story, don't try and make it fit. I have lots of other readings on my channel. So feel free to check those out. Regardless, check out your other placements. We all have everything in our chart. So technically, any reading could be for you by anybody. A lot of people I've discovered will go by the title more than anything. But anyway, I'm going to start with the Good Tarot and we'll see what's going on for Capricorn. Oh, and I let the universe choose a song for you. I've forgotten to do this with some of the signs, and I don't know. I guess just some people get a song and some people don't. And that's just the way it is. For you, the title of your song is Keep Me from Harm. I like that. So, maybe that's kind of where you're at right now is you've been through it. You've been hurt. You've dealt with some things that were painful, and you're in a place now where I don't know, maybe you're not with anybody, or maybe you are, but you're trying to manifest a good situation in your life. You're setting an intention. Keep me from harm. Um, anytime any of us have been through anything, there's definitely a fair amount of PTSD. Like, that was rough when I went through that, and I hope that never happens again. Sometimes it does anyway, but you're kind of trying to, I think, set the intention, manifest something that will not be so painful. So anyway, let's start. I'm going to be doing the Celtic cross, and let me give it one more shuffle. I want to get the overall energy of the situation. We have the two of water. Two of water. Didn't I? It's been a couple days. I forget my readings, but I feel like I might have gotten this for Sagittarius. Maybe. Who knows? But that's the overall energy. Two of water is like harmonious partnership, soulmate. Um, Really, just I always think of this as like two peas in a pod. Being very similar, enjoying one another. There's a playful energy about this. Um, Being emotionally in tune with someone as well. So, what's the current situation? What's going on? We have the Nine of Water. Hmm. Um, this is a card of feeling very fulfilled, emotionally fulfilled, satisfied, excited by where you are in life, what you have around you, what you've achieved up to this point. Typically, the nines are kind of a more singular energy, whereas like the ten of cups and the 10 of pentacles is more like having the people in your life as well. The nines are more like you've done it. You've gotten yourself to a point where you're very satisfied with your own everything that you've done, your own actions and abilities that have gotten you somewhere. So that's a good way to start. So what's your challenge? King of Fire. um this might be a person in your life, could have a lot of fire in their chart. Someone who is very compelling, very they could have a certain something about them where they seem very wise. um It makes me think, because of this being this deck in particular, this is kind of being an enlightened leader of sorts, kind of wearing your heart on your sleeve, or maybe this person wearing their heart on their sleeve. Um, I feel like this is challenging for you because you're over here doing really good, and someone comes along. Kind of makes me think there's somebody new coming into your life. You maybe have your eye on someone, maybe something has just begun, but this person, for however awesome they are, and they are really quite awesome, because the king of fire, he's this guy he's all about the hell yes, and if it's not a hell yes, it's a no, period. He's always following his desire, his passion, his, wherever his heart leads him. And I think that there is a real legitimate fear for you. Keep me from harm. Like, who is this person, and do they really have good intentions? They seem wise, but I don't know, we don't know when people are putting on fronts all the time. So let's let's look at the past. What happened in the recent past? The messenger of earth. Um there's this sense of being very dedicated, being hardworking. I feel like this is you focusing on yourself, on building yourself up in your life. Um, Probably focusing on your job, your money, something like that. Because because you know you were going towards your own personal fulfillment here. Probably leaving something behind, and understanding that it takes effort, it takes work to get you to where you want to be in life. And you did just that. You, through your effort, through your hard work and your dedication, you got yourself to this place where you're like, okay, I'm really good. And then here, here comes along somebody who's just like, hey, Capricorn. And you're like, no. So what's coming in the near future? This is the caution and uncertainty because you just don't know. You you feel, I think you feel very torn about this person. Um they sure seem good, but you don't know. And maybe you've dealt with someone like this in the past where they came across as being, because the king of fire, somebody who follows their passion so intensely, they can come across as really um a lot. And it can kind of like leave you feeling like, uh, you're coming in a little too hot and heavy here, a little too hot and fast, and um you know especially for you, I think, Capricorn, you're more like, you're much more grounded and focused on, like, let's take things one moment at a time. Let's focus on um being grounded, doing the things that are going to lead to stability, long-term stability. And so this person coming in, you're just like, I don't know about you. I just don't know. So, what does this person think about you? How did they perceive you? No, no, no. No, I'm not going there yet. No, I want to ask, what are you currently aware of? What's going on in your conscious mind? What are you currently aware of? Strength. I was just talking, this card came up in my daily for November, Friday, November 26th. Um, you're aware that you're building up your strength. I think that there's a certain amount of of taming the beast in terms of that part of you that's very fearful, but also she's kind of leaning in this card, she's leaning on the lion. So it makes me think it's not so much taming the beast, but it's like understanding that there's a part of you that is very protective of yourself, of your emotions. You don't want to go through what you've been through before. You're compelled to move in a certain direction, but you're letting this part of you lead you, and you're like, if I come across anything that's even a little bit like not not kosher, shall we say, you're gonna let this lion devour that situation. You're gonna be like, yeah, lion, you go to town, you do what you need to do. This is your protector here. So anyway, kind of building your strength up. Um, so what are you not aware of? What's going on in your subconscious? Ace of Earth. This is you is despite this is why you're building your strength, because you do want this new beginning. You are very much drawn. I just saw 1111. That's amazing. You are very much drawn to this person who could be twin flame, soulmate. Probably one of the reasons that you are feeling so freaked out by this person, feeling so cautious and uncertain, because deep down you really want this. You know that there's potential here. A part of you understands that this is a very there is so much potential here for this prosperous, happy new beginning, um, that can be very grounded, how that will let you feel like you're in, um how do I say it? You can trust this beginning because it is based in reality. It's not just a bunch of, you know, passion and then it dies, or then this person they're here one day gone the next kind of thing. Your fears may be covering up this deep desire for this thing. I think a deep knowing that this person is a really good match for you. Keep me from harm. The song again keeps it's like you're like, "Oh my god, please, please, God, higher power, whatever you subscribe to, you're just like, please keep me from harm. Please don't let this turn out the way it did last time." So, okay, let me ask the question. So, and yeah, again, overall energy, we've got the 2 of Cups here. You Yeah, this is a really good, strong connection. There's a lot of potential here. So now let's find out what does your person think about you? How do they perceive you? Hermit. Yeah, you're not jumping into anything. They're coming in probably pretty hot and heavy, and you're like, I'm just over here. I'm examining each key one at a time. We're figuring out which key is going to open this door to this wisdom that I need to navigate this situation. Um, you're doing this you're just introspective and focusing on yourself, which is good. I think it's always a good thing. Um, so what are your hopes and fears? I think we kind of already established that, but let's get a little bit more. The Tower. Yeah. I don't know if this is a hope. The Tower it's not always a devastating blow. The Tower can very much be about discovery, epiphany, a new way, a new perspective. And that's why in this deck, especially, I love this tower because typically the tower is broken in half and there's flames and people falling out and lightning and it's craziness, it's chaos. There's a real um, quiet serenity to this tower. To me, this tower speaks of gaining a new perspective. It's a discovery. And because it's built in the mountain here, it's like you're walking along and you see a mountain in the distance and you come around the bend and you realize, oh, there's a tower built into that mountain. That's a pretty major discovery. And then not only that, but there's a way to get in the tower. There's several ways to get in the tower. We've got the door, we've got the stairs. And so there's all this exploring to do. So I feel like this represents this union with this person where you're very excited about coming together with them. You're excited to explore and see where it leads and to get this new perspective. You get to the top of this tower and you can see the lay of the land in a way you couldn't see before. However, who knows what's in this tower? This is your fear as well. And the tower's a big shakeup. And maybe it's not going to work out. Maybe it seems really great and then it ends up being another, you know, dud of a relationship. So, what's your advice? What is Capricorn's advice? Queen of Air, which also came up in that daily for Friday. This is all about having strong, healthy boundaries, communicating your truth, what's important to you. That's where you gain the wisdom. Um, is through tapping into what you know is really right for you and standing firmly in that. And being willing to bend, so often we can change what we feel is right and not right for us. In a situation like this, when you're first getting to know someone, your boundaries are going to be very different than they are when you've been with someone for a year, 2 years, 5 years, that kind of thing. So um, it's understanding what you need in this moment. I think that you and this person you are both very wise in your own right. Your person has probably been through it too. They just have a different way of dealing with it, of showing up. With the king and the queen here, it's like you don't you can continue to be cautious. That's perfectly fine. And take it as slow as you need to go. You have that ability. And I think this person, I think they like you as much as you like them. They might be coming across with a lot of big energy, but when you just say, "Hey, I really like you, but let's just, let's take it one day at a time, one date at a time, and and here's what I need from you." Period. Point blank. Period. So, what's the final potential outcome? I won't even say final. What's the potential outcome? The King of Water. This is you two opening up, you being able to open up to this person, finding emotional balance from being in this connection. You, whatever fears you are dealing with at the moment, um, will be abated. You will come to this place where you're there's this I can't even articulate it very well, but it's like, you two being very, very loving with each other, compassionate, kind. Um, it's such a sweet energy, very supportive of one another. Ooh, Ollie. Ollie, hello, welcome. Okay. So this is just beautiful. This is a really great reading. Um, Let me go with the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle cards. Just get kind of a final overview of this. The owl, deception and wisdom. Which I think I always forget. Always forget my reading. This came up for someone. Maybe it was Scorpio or Sagittarius. I don't know. Anyway, um, the thing about this card is it's being able to see the truth of the matter, being able having that laser focus. Owls can see very far. They can see at night. They're these amazing they're amazing creatures, also very wise. They represent wisdom. It's it's being the whole deception thing. It's being able to see past deception, either from other people or even from yourself. We often deceive ourselves to protect ourselves, or or when we want something so badly and we're like ignoring ignoring the red flags. This is probably what you've done before, maybe many times, and you're finally to this point where you're like, I'm not doing that again. I'm not going to allow self-deception to cloud my judgment. But in doing this, you're able to see clearly. You're able to truly see this person for who they are. Which is actually, they're actually really amazing. The Goblin. I love this card. The wounded human ego. Oh, the Goblin. This is this is this is why you're so cautious and uncertain, because you have absolutely been wounded. Yeah. And that part of you, it pretty much always goes back to childhood for us. For any I feel like for any human, there's something, usually something that happens that causes us to decide to be a certain way, do things in a certain way or not. Um, and so whenever we're feeling this way, whenever we're triggered, it's because of that original wounding. And so it's learning to make friends with this part of yourself. It's learning to say, like, I know you've been hurt in the past. I love you anyway. Like, it's making friends with that part of yourself so that you can lead it. It says your strength comes from making friends with this part. Turning it from the goblin sticking its tongue out to the roaring lion, where you're like, Yes, yes, we have been hurt before. And so I'm going to let you tell me when I need to be careful. But also, this could be you also leading that part of yourself, your grown part, where you're still the little child inside. And you're like, you know what? Don't be afraid. Or that's not a good thing to say. I understand your fear. You're trying to protect me. Thank you. Now let me lead you. Let me show you. Let me prove to you that everything is going to be okay. It's a leaning on yourself. And the eagle, spirit, integrity, connection to the angelic realm. This strength can also be leaning on your trust, your faith that things will work out, that the universe has your back, that you do have support, assistance from the whatever, the angelic realm, from the some kind of unseen force is there helping you as you go through this. Spirit and integrity. Having integrity. This card also is very much about integrity. You relying on your own integrity in this situation despite the fear that you're having. You don't want to push this person away just because you're afraid. They say something and you're like, well, F you, because, that reminds you of something that somebody else said to you. But this person, that was not their intention at all. And so it's you just kind of being like, okay, you just said something there. What did you mean by that? Trying to remain calm and grounded. Um, and the king, oh my gosh, we've got kings on the board. Yes, we do. Man, authority, male sexual energy, things pertaining to the law, and justice. I think this is you gaining justice in your life. This person is allowing you to feel like finally, like you have regained the authority in your life, in yourself, just by being around this person. They're a really good influence on you. um Gender doesn't matter here. These are all energies. The king energy is very, because it is very masculine. It's very focused and energized and action oriented. And with this outcome here, it's like it's gaining justice through finding that emotional balance between the two of you. Where did it go? There's an emotional balance here. Twos are always about balance. So yeah, let yourself feel the fear and then keep going anyway. Make friends with that wounded human ego. It's just trying to protect you, and then you just, you know set those healthy boundaries, and that's exactly what's going to help you to feel more um, safe and solid in this connection. So, all right, there it is. There is your reading. I'm really excited for you. This is a really beautiful reading. Um, Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing.